Well, I did it. I bought another car. So I bought it sight unseen. Was it a good decision? Probably not. It was stolen, so theft report. You know, for a lot of people that scares them. For me, I don't really care too much. And it does have an accident on the record. Now, this is a 440i with xDrive. Now, the main thing is this car has the B58 engine. You have to understand the B58 engine is like the best BMW engine made of all time. Today, we're gonna completely transform my BMW 440i. All mods, all in one video. Now, this B58 car is the absolute best modern BMW on the market right now, with plenty of clapped examples hovering around that $10,000 mark, and you could have basically the same car as the new Supra or M340i. And with the new Supra and M340i still being over double and triple the price of a slightly clapped 440i or 340i, this makes it a no-brainer. The B58 is known as being one of the most reliable BMW engines, as well as one of the easiest to build high horsepower on a budget, which also makes it the most glazed BMW engine of all time. But is it deserving of all that glazing? Today we're going to transform my bone stock, slightly clapped 440i and hopefully answer that question. Okay, first mods up is carbon fiber. You can't have a race car, you can't have a proper modded car without carbon fiber. Does carbon fiber make your car go faster? Abso-fucking-lutely. Everyone knows that. Now, the real reason you use carbon fiber is for weight savings. It's much lighter and stronger than a lot of other materials, especially aerodynamic materials. Now, these things we're going to be adding to the car. So technically we're adding weight. So it won't really make the car faster, but it's going to make it look cool, and that's all that matters. We got inserts for the grills. These slide right over the existing grills. This thing is so light, it's so delicate, like I feel like I could break it so easily. So we're gonna slide that over. We got side skirts, gotta get the side skirts, and we got the front lip. This is gonna help fill out the front end of the car, just give it that more aggressive stance while also being tasteful with the carbon fiber. We're not gonna go overboard and make every part of the car carbon fiber like some people do, but just enough to make it look pretty good. You might be wondering, where's the spoiler? The car already has a carbon fiber spoiler on it right now, so we're good there. But let's start installing these. Okay, let's put the front lip on. So like most carbon fiber, getting it to fit is a little tricky, but a mix of a bunch of set screws and 3M tape and we should be good to go. Time for the carbon fiber grills. And we just put that over there. Oh man, it's stuck on accident. Don't worry, it's got 3M tape on it. Those aren't coming off. There we go. The car has carbon fiber. It's basically a supercar now.
Okay guys, I just want to take a quick second and show you a little teaser of our new project car. We just picked this bad boy up. This is, if you know, you know, this is an enthusiast-based BMW right here. You're gonna have to wait to see everything we're gonna do to it, but we picked it up for 1,100 bucks. And actually, quick reminder, our Patreon members actually are the ones that picked this car. We put a poll up on our Patreon about a week ago, and you guys wanted another 5 Series on the channel. So we went out and found the most clapped out 5 Series possible. And you might be thinking, how'd you buy it so cheap? Well, there is one little catch I want to show you guys. It's not all rainbows. Yeah, it doesn't run. So make sure to tune in to see if we can get this thing running, and go check out our Patreon. From this point forward, a lot of our builds are going to be chosen by our Patreon members. So if you want to get in on the action and help us spend our money, the link is in the description. All right, back to the video.
Well, now it's time to start modding the car. Now, before we get to our first few mods, I want to quickly show you guys we got a new exhaust for it. This is an actual BMW exhaust. As you guys know in the last episode, when I bought this car, the cheapest 440 M Sport xDrive on the market, it had a Nissan exhaust on it. Which is crazy. That means that the dealer, at some point, maybe it had an aftermarket exhaust and they had to put a muffler on, and they put a Nissan exhaust on with terrible welds. It was just hacked together like a Frankenstein car. Now, I went to the dealer and I said, listen, you guys are gonna put a BMW exhaust on because I bought a BMW. I paid a BMW price, I want a BMW exhaust. And they said, sorry, bud, like that's just the way it goes. You know, you buy the car as is, it is what it is. Now, I wasn't gonna let that slide. I told them, listen, I'm not asking, I'm telling you, you're gonna put a BMW exhaust on. And I played the tough guy routine, and I thought, you know, they're not gonna do it. I was bluffing out my ass. But you know, you gotta at least try. So I kept calling every day and I said, listen, I'm not asking, I'm telling you, you're going to put a BMW exhaust on. I was nice. Trick number one, don't be a Karen. Be nice, but be assertive. And the service manager said, well, you know, it's not against their policy. They can't be doing that. I didn't take no for an answer. I simply said, I'm not asking, I'm telling you. When I come pick up the car tomorrow, because the shifter was broken and they agreed to replace that, I said, when I come pick it up, I want a BMW exhaust on it. I was about to give it, you know, 3 more tries, then I was gonna give up. I was bluffing, like I always do. And what do you know? I get a call the next day. Mr. Noah, we ordered the parts from BMW. It's gonna take a few more days, but we're gonna put a BMW exhaust on it. But the moral of the story is that everyone in this world is trying to fuck you. Everyone's trying to take advantage of you, especially when you go to dealers and you buy cars from dealers. And so many people just, you know, play dead and they just let people walk all over them. And that's how I was able to get a BMW exhaust. By the way, I had them send me the receipts for every part and everything, and I looked it up on the BMW website. We're looking at about like $1,600 worth of parts, plus, you know, the labor of putting it on. So big money right there. One of the things that's cool about this is that this is the BMW Sport exhaust. It has a valve inside the muffler. You can see there's a wire right here. So basically in the higher RPMs, that valve opens up, makes it a little bit louder. It's a little bit more sporty. You know, not too many cars have that. The Nissan exhaust definitely didn't have it. So I'm glad I was able to get what I wanted. Okay, it's time to do some performance mods on the 440. And what we've got is, of course, the big old downpipe. We want to see more power. It's already a turbo engine. You got to let more air in and more air out. It's as simple as that. So the basic downpipe tune intake combo we've got coming right up. Everyone knows the B58 makes infinity horsepower. Just ask any 12-year-old, they'll tell you. It's basically a super swapped M4, guys. Let's be real. Why buy an M4 when you could get the car that has the Supra motor, the new Supra motor in it? It's basically the 2JZ on BMW steroids. So let's make enough torque to twist the chassis. Okay, basically we got a few steps to follow to make it simple, easy breeze. These are all easy mods that a monkey could do. Remove the intake, remove the downpipe, new downpipe in, the turbo inlet, and the air intake. Let's get to chopping. So pull this right off. Oh, there we go. Remember guys, these cars are basically a giant Lego. Look how filthy it is. Mass airflow sensor disconnected. Put this over here. Very important piece right there. I already unclipped this, so we'll just pull this out. There we go. Look at that air filter right there. Honestly, not terrible. Okay, remove that. What do we got here? We got our little teriyaki titty twister right there. Our little Beijing blowhole. Our Wuhan war whistle. You can see we got our downpipe right there. Oh, motherfuck. Oh, it's still a little bit hot. We gotta wait a little bit longer for that. I just put it on the lift. Okay, so we got the turbo inlet. We'll probably take that piece off first. And then charge pipe is right here. It's so simple, it's all right here. I mean, you know how many cars we've worked on where parts are so hard to get to? That's what's great about this is, yeah, it's not a twin turbo V8, it's just an inline 6, but it's so easy, how easy it is to get to these parts. So as much as I love our N54 335 that we had, that car is a real bitch to get to things. This is like so much easier. The inlet on that was super hard. The inlet on this, super easy. And I'm glad we got an upgraded inlet because that's gonna help the turbo make louder noises. And who doesn't love turbo noises? Okay, and here we go. So I had to disconnect it because that was a little bit of a bitch to pull out. You got these hoses with these types of clamps, which are absolute bitches. They love to break, and this thing is probably like what? BMW wants a crazy amount for these things. It's insane. And then this piece, pulling it out, it was just mainly those pieces and just trying to get those clamps off and then trying to get it to all fit around. But basically, there you go. There's the front of the turbo right there. So we're gonna install a much bigger turbo inlet so you could see how much more air could flow through this one than this one, and this is the aftermarket one. This has some like baffling in it, and this is to help quiet the turbo so that when the old grandma is driving this car, she doesn't have to hear the turbo noises. But me, I want to fucking hear all the turbo noises. This has no baffling in it at all. So this is gonna go in there nicely. And look at this hose, such a weird looking hose. It looks like a ginger root. Basically that's so that those hoses could connect. But you got all kinds of vacuum things and, you know, BMW shit. This thing has just been a complete pain in the ass. This is the charge pipe. Now, we got a new charge pipe right here. This isn't gonna give us any horsepower gains exactly, but it's gonna protect us from getting horsepower losses, because what happens is, this is plastic, you're throwing a ton of boost through it, and you create boost leaks. So you have all the guys claiming to make all this horsepower, but in reality they're not, because they have a boost leak. And this is, you know, pretty much every used Beamer, clapped out Beamer, probably has a boost leak somewhere. All the ones you see on fucking Marketplace, and you know, they claim it's 600 horsepower and it feels like 300, it's a boost leak. So to prevent the boost leak, one of the most common ones is trading your plastic charge pipe for a metal one. It's all nice, machined aluminum. It's very strong. It's not gonna crack under a bunch of compressed air. But this is the first thing we gotta install before we install the turbo inlet or the air intake. We gotta do this first, because this goes right there, right underneath the turbo inlet. Okay, downpipe completely disconnected. Now's the fun part of trying to get it out of the car. So obviously it's taking a little bit longer than I'd like. Oh, I actually just got it out of the hardest part. Now we're just trying to get it to aim and not hit the O2 sensor, because that would be bad. Okay, we have to take the plate off, and there we go. This big old boy. This thing's worth some money right here. So can't throw it away yet. So that's the old one. This is the new one. This piece is actually much bigger, and but it's much shorter in length. This part's much longer. So basically, it's gonna be all shiny chrome, but the most important part is that it's gonna be free flowing. Now, the cats absolutely kill turbo cars in terms of power. One of the greatest ways to really build up that power is, you know, either a high flow catted downpipe or just a catless downpipe. So that's what we got here. Okay, time to put the new downpipe in. So it's got the O2 sensors in tight. We got the V-band right there. So let's go put it in. So we gotta fish it up here. Lenny, what the fuck is this?
What? Oh, that's my tiramisu drawer.
Why the fuck do we have a tiramisu drawer?
Because sometimes we stay late and I get hungry.
Is this real tiramisu?
Yeah, it is, dude. I got a guy. He fills it up every Friday.
Every Friday?
Yeah. You want to buy it?
I don't have a fork or spoon or...
Don't worry. I got you covered. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Boom. See, man? I told you. It's pretty good. Good stuff, man.
Okay, the downpipe is in. As you can see, it's all tightened, everything, all the brackets, good to go. Very simple, easy job. That's in. Now next up is doing the charge pipe before we get into anything else. We got this upgraded charge pipe right here. It's made of metal, so it won't burst. The bottom piece is already in, connected to the turbo. And now I get to put the most important part. This is the part with the sensors in it. You have to be very careful. This is the component that creates boost leaks. Now with this one, I have 3 little ports. I could use this for nitrous. I could use this for meth injection. I could use this if I want to run an analog boost gauge. I could basically use these for all kinds of things. And there's 3 of them. But you got to make sure that they're tight, that they got silicone around them or something, because you don't want any boost leaks. So here we go. Let's just throw this on there. That's in. Now we gotta put these bolts in. Okay, now that the downpipe is installed, the charge pipe is installed, we gotta get the turbo inlet, which is this piece right here. It's all built, ready to go. Get these sensors out of the way. Okay. Now, before we put the intake on, while we're at it, might as well swap out the coils, spark plugs, gap them for the increased boost. Of course, you gotta pull out like half the car right there so you could access the rear ones. That's why the whole car is right here. But yeah, those rear coils, because the engine sits so far back, you gotta have access to that. So you gotta pull that apart. Our friends over at Turner Motorsport hooked us up with some beautiful performance ignition coils and spark plugs. So we're all set to go. These are great, they look cool. They're blue, which is pretty cool. Gonna go with the vibe of this car. But basically, I don't know how old these ones are, but we might as well just replace them. And on top of that, while you're doing all the bolt-ons, like going full bolt-on, you gotta gap those spark plugs a little bit differently for boost, which we're gonna do. So if we're gonna get to the spark plugs and pull these coils out, might as well just swap them out. Now we got some performance ones, deliver a hotter spark, which means more horsepower. So we just pull this one right out, undid the one bolt holding it on. Now we gotta extract that spark plug down in that little hole. Okay, we pulled out the spark plug and it is toast. Good that we're getting a good replacement in there. So we got the new one. So let's gap it. Okay, the new spark plug's in. Now I'm just gonna slide this bad boy on. Okay, so all the coils are in. They're all tight. New spark plugs, everything's gapped. We're ready to twist some chassis here. Now we gotta put the cold air intake on. It's got a little box. What you don't want is a hot air intake. And if you just have an intake, well, the heat from the air is gonna get it. So that's why we have a box that's gonna protect it. And if you look right here, there's a duct. And this duct goes to right here. So there's a passageway that goes like this into this little duct. And we're gonna put a box with the intake in. So it'll all be free flowing. It'll be open to the point where we can hear the turbo noises. But basically it's going to be extracting cold air from the front of the car. If you do a hot air intake, you know, you could possibly lose a lot of power. And we experience a lot of that when we're doing the LS swap in the Jag, trying to really configure the perfect intake, because once you see those hot air temps, it'll pull timing and you lose horsepower. So you really want to make sure you're getting the coldest air possible. Okay, so the intake is installed. Basically, very small intake. It goes to this corner. We got the cold air box, basically preventing heat from the exhaust. Got that little duct right there that pulls air from up here. So it is indeed a cold air intake. But we need to top it off with a cover so that way it's only pulling air from right here and no heat, you know, goes around from the top. So we got that one right there. So we got the upgraded metal charge pipe, we've got the turbo inlet, we got the downpipe, we got the cold air intake, we got the performance coils, new spark plugs. We're about to do an oil change real quick. It's a little due. We got the carbon fiber. I mean, the build is coming along really great so far. I can't wait to slap the new wheels on it. Let's change the oil and then tune the car. Okay, now it's time to tune the car, and we're gonna be using MHD. So I got the flasher device plugged in right now, got the car to the accessory mode. You gotta, you know, close the doors, put the seatbelt on, but this is basically what I'm gonna do, is you go to flash MHD map. Now it's connecting. Okay, we connected. We got the license, so it's going to the B58 maps, which is what this car has. We got stage 0. We got stage 0 plus. We got stage 1, stage 2 high pressure fuel pump, and then we also have the multi-map feature. Now for today we're going to be doing just stage 2. I don't have a high pressure fuel pump right now, so we're going to just do stage 2, but that should give us a significant boost upgrade. So let's click on it. You could do E85, E30, 95 octane, 93, 91. Here in California we got 91, so that's what we're going to be going with, but I could always get higher octane fuel in the future, and we'll definitely be doing E85 at some point. Okay, now we got this, we go to options. We have the ability to really customize certain aspects that we really want. So we got things like exhaust setup, you could put in right there, stock downpipes, aftermarket downpipes, remove top speed limiter. Of course, we want to go as 1,000,000 miles per hour. Increase iDrive power and torque gauges, maximum values. So that's the little thing that tells you the horsepower and torque. We got exhaust burble. You could click that if you want to, you know, have tons of exhaust burbles. Cold start noise reduction, quiet it down on cold start. Exhaust flap always in sport mode, always open in sport mode. So I selected that. In the BMW exhaust that I have now, there's a little flap, a little exhaust valve, and it opens at the higher RPMs. We're making it so that it's always open in sport mode. So if I put this car in sport mode, it's always open, which is almost like a little bit of an exhaust cutout. So that's a cool feature. I like that right there. We got the startup roar. You want to really make the car loud when you start up, you could click that. Right here, high pressure fuel pump installed. So you could do OEM or many different types. We're on OEM right now. Injectors, we're on stock right now. These are all things that could easily be changed. You know, that's why you have people out there with 800 horsepower B58s on the stock turbos. Maybe it's 700 on the stock turbos, but it's just crazy amounts of power from the stock engine, and, you know, ripping it like crazy. So you got your off-the-shelf maps, which is basically what we're doing here. You can use MHD with a tuner that could give you a custom tune. You know, the sky's the limit with tuning. When you go with more custom parts, you need a much more custom tune. Because we're going with pretty much the basic downpipe tune, all the main bolt-ons. If you want to go full bolt-ons, it works easy. So we got sport cooling mode for intercooler, port injection with meth. So tons of different features in which you can really customize the tune to yourself. But if you want to just basic, easy tune, you don't want to push anything too crazy, they got that too. Obviously, whenever tuning, you want to make sure that the car is on a charger, battery charger, maintainer. You want to make sure that the car doesn't lose any power, because the tuning process does take a few minutes. You don't want the battery to die in the middle of that. Otherwise, bad things will happen. So all you got to do, press map right. There we go. And now the car starts to freak out and go into this crazy limp mode. That's completely normal. It's part of the process. And before you know it, you're at 100%, and boom, here we are. We've got a tuned B58 BMW. We're ready to smoke every car out on the road, because everyone knows the B58 makes an infinite amount of horsepower, and no one can come close to it. So here we go. Let's go drive this baby. Okay, it's time for new wheels. So let's pull these ones off. Okay, before we put the new wheels on, while we're here, we got this big, ugly caliper in the gray finish. It's actually a really good looking caliper, but it needs some color. And I think that M blue would be great. So we're gonna paint this blue. Very easy, very simple to do. The biggest, most important thing is to properly prep it and tape off everything. That way you don't get blue overspray all over everything else. Let's get to work on that. Okay, about 3 hours of taping off. I'm kidding, of course, but a lot of the time and attention going into taping it off. Now we got the spray can. This is just the normal stuff. Caliper paint, because it gets hot. Can't use regular paint. And then we'll throw some clear on after if we want to. If it looks good how it is, we won't. If it needs a little bit of shine, we'll throw some caliper clear on it. But let's get to painting. So greatest, cheapest way to just completely transform the look of your cars, other than wheels, is painting those calipers, especially when you have big ones. If you got the little measly ones, maybe not. But these big, awesome looking calipers, they need a little paint job. So I'm gonna go light, and I could always go and add more coats. So we're gonna go light. We don't want drip marks, because it'll look like absolute trash. Just trying to hit all those different angles. As far as the back goes, you know, no one's gonna really see it. I just accidentally got some spray on the knuckle. Oh well, it is what it is. No one will notice unless I take this car to go get an alignment. You can't own a clapped out Beamer without clapping out your calipers. Let's be real. Okay, now that it's got a few coats on it, it's a little bit dry. We're gonna throw some clear on it real quick. That way it has a little bit of a shine to it. Protects the paint. Probably should be wearing a mask. It's fine, I don't have too many brain cells left to lose anyways. Damn, that looks pretty good. I mean, this is the most ratchet ass way of doing it. Spray paint it on the car. You're supposed to take the caliper off, but it actually looks really good. So I'm happy. Nothing's more satisfying than when you're doing a ratchet half-ass job and it actually turns out good. Although I haven't pulled off the tape and seen all the overspray, so Can't say anything yet. Okay, you can't have a proper build without proper wheels. And we got the V804 VMRs. Once again, VMR hooked us up. We put some of their wheels on the 550 build. They looked great. Now we're gonna be hooking up the 440 build with some Hyper Silver V804s. These are part of the Flow Formed line. They also have a Forge line. What I love about these wheels is that Hyper Silver looks really good on the black cars. They make wheels for Euro, JDM, American Muscle, pretty much everything you want. You know, they have a lot of custom applications for bore sizes. Go check them out. They'll take good care of you. So what I'm gonna do is we gotta take this to a tire shop, get these mounted and balanced. Okay, baby, now for my favorite part of the entire build, the new wheels. So we gotta put these on. As you can tell, we painted the calipers, they dried, they look great in that bluish color. So let's slap these wheels on. Brand new tires as well. Oh, so let's get this on. I really like that silver look with the black of the car, which looks great. Okay, now for one of the most important parts of this entire build. We don't want people knowing that we're rocking a B58 engine. Everyone knows that B58s are king. B58 is king! But we don't want everyone knowing that. We want people thinking that we got the slowest engine around. So that's why we're gonna be down badging to a 420. I don't know if Helen Keller put this 440 badge on, but they did a terrible job. I mean, it's literally each number and letter is lower than the other. We want it to look actually like factory, not like Michael J. Fox put it on. So let's take this thing off. So all we gotta do is take a finger and just finger it. And they all come off. Definitely did not take them off before this video for dramatic effect. There we go, now we got adhesive. Now, the good news is I know how to get it off adhesive very easily. So thanks to our friends over at G-Technic, we got all the goods. And the tar and glue remover is magic when it comes to adhesive. I don't know what they put in this stuff, but it should probably be illegal because it's so amazing. Okay, so trick number one. We're gonna spray it on and we're gonna let it just kind of sit. I'm only wiping up the part that's dripping. We gotta let it sit and soak for a few minutes. That way when I go to rub it off, it'll come right off. Okay, now it's time to just wipe it off. A little bit of elbow grease, and you can see already it's coming off so easily. Okay, now time to put this on. So we just gotta pull back right here. Okay, there we go. Unfortunately, the packaging wasn't perfect, so this isn't perfect, but it's a lot better than it was before. There you go, that's how it's done. Okay, here we go. First drive with the new mods. Listen. We still have the mufflers on, so you're not hearing that inline six, which to be truthful, I'm not a huge fan of the inline six sound, but I do love the turbo noises, and it's perfect because you don't have exhaust droning out the turbo noises. You just hear turbo noises. A little bit of exhaust, you wanna know that you got a combustion engine, but you have those turbo noises partly thanks to the intake, the turbo inlet, the downpipe makes a big difference. So having those performance mods not only gives you extra power, but it gives you sound. Now, why is sound important? Part of modifying a car, part of all this is for the driver's experience. And to each their own, everyone has their own preference, to me, a huge part of the driving experience is the sound. That's why electric cars, they're great for performance. They just never will be the same as combustion engines, because you have all these cool, unique sounds that you get, like turbos and superchargers. Nothing beats a Roots-style supercharger, but the turbo noise is pretty damn good. And I'm just barely stepping on it, and you hear it spool up. And if you step on it and let off really fast, you can hear the little very, very quiet. You know, obviously, if we do a turbo upgrade, we're gonna want to make it as loud as possible, so we really hear that little. But for now, just the basic mods that, you know, anybody could do. You know, you just need, you know, screwdriver, basic sockets. Anyone in their garage, their driveway can install these mods very easily. Here we go. Yeah, the car loves to move. And once again, that all-wheel drive packs a punch. Sure, when it brakes, it's super expensive and complicated, but when it's working, it's great. Well, there you have it, guys. What a transformation this car has gone through. Aesthetically, I mean, look at how much of a difference wheels make. The carbon fiber looks so much sharper, so much better. And then, of course, all the performance mods, it really took that potential out of the B58, and you feel it when you drive it. It's a feeling that's hard to explain. You just gotta get a B58 of your own. And of course, the all-wheel drive helps make sure that it grips the ground really well. As soon as you put the pedal to the metal, you're flying. Now, it's making good daily driver power now, but the sky's the limit. There's always more you could do. There's always different types of fuel, turn up the boost levels. There's always turbo upgrades, endless possibilities for this car. So let me know down in the comments what you think we should do with it next. Lenny? Lenny? Today we're gonna be adding about 50 to 80 horsepower to my cheap Beamer for about $12 to $15. The name of the game today is cheap horsepower, bringing it up close to 500 horsepower, and it's very easy to do, and if you own a Beamer, you pretty much do it yourself. Now, if you saw the last video, we did all the bolt-ons: downpipe, intake, charge pipe, turbo inlet, tune, carbon fiber wheels, the whole shebang. All-wheel drive, this thing rips. Fun little daily driver. And in a Backspeed Boys fashion, we properly clap the car out. But now it's time to clap it out some more. And we're gonna be using our friend E85. What's E85, you ask? Let me tell you. E85, also known as the corn sauce, flex fuel, ethanol express, ethanol elixir, the boost juice, or if you're just really lame, you call it E. E85 is a fuel blend consisting of up to 85% ethanol and 15% gasoline. Ethanol is a biofuel often made from corn and has a higher octane rating than gasoline, somewhere between 100 and 105 to be exact. Benefits include increased horsepower, lower emissions, and potentially lower fuel costs. The downsides are reduced fuel economy, limited availability, and potential engine damage. But no need to be negative, that ruins the whole point of this video. Now we gotta go to the gas station, pick up some E85. I don't want to mix it up with any other gas that we have. So first thing I'm going to do is label 85. We gotta go to the corn hub. We're not going to take this car. We're going to take something a little better.
Warming up. I had to take a proper car to go do this. Let's go. Oh, my door just broke.
What do you mean the door just broke?
Dude, I was opening my door to... No!
It broke?
The door broke! No, dude! I'm like not even joking. I'm literally like trying to fill up gas and this shit just happened. I got limp door handle syndrome. Yeah. What am I gonna do? Dude, I was opening the door and I have like limp door handle syndrome now. Try to open it from the outside. Does it work? Does it feel like there's tension?
Yeah.
Here. Open it. I guess I'm gonna have to be chauffeured around now.
You have to climb into the window now.
Yeah. Dude, that sucks. No, race car shit.
Oh, damn.
I guess that's partly what happens when you buy the most clapped out M5 in the world. But that's going on the list of things to fix. I can't sell it with that. Okay guys, we had to find a gas station with an E85 pump. It's kind of part of the importance of it all. We're just gonna open this up. I'm gonna fill it up all the way, and then we're gonna have to get proper measurements and ratios when we get back to the shop. This pump is so thick. Okay. Oh man, it's so heavy. Let's go.
Okay, now comes the math part of it. We gotta figure out exactly how much E85 to put in the car mixed with 91 to create that E30 blend. Now, the reason we're not doing E85, full E85, is because then you gotta start changing stuff in the car. We want cheap, easy horsepower. E30, you put it in as is, don't have to change anything, don't have to work on the car, nada. Easy peasy, nothing you gotta do other than just flashing a tune on it. Boom, 500 horsepower. We got desired total amount of E30 in gallons, right there. You got liters. And then we got the amount of pump gas needed to achieve E30 mix in gallons. That's liters, gallons. Amount of E85 needed to achieve E30 mix in gallons, liters. So basically looking at this, and my brain already hurts. I'm gonna say fuck it, I think we're just gonna have to eyeball it. I mean, it's a clap beamer, it's not that deep. Okay, let's put some E85 in here. I'm gonna lock this down. Okay, I think that's enough. Oh fuck, it's stuck. Here we go. So we should be somewhere in the ballpark of an E30 mix right now. Maybe a little bit higher, maybe E35, but somewhere around there. Now we gotta tune it, and then we're looking at a bunch of super cheap horsepower. I mean, the amount of gas I put in this, we're looking at, I think, like $7 maybe right now. Okay, we're gonna use the MHD tuner device. So we gotta plug it in right here. Okay, so we got the tune device connected. We're skipping stage 0, 0 plus, stage 1. We're going straight to stage 2. Now you got a stage 2 high pressure fuel pump. We're not doing that in this episode because this episode is all about easy horsepower where we don't have to do anything. We could be lazy and just make tons of power. So stage 2, which we're already on, but instead of 91, we're going to E30. Now you can do E85 for stage 2, but you gotta obviously upgrade your fueling systems, and I say E30 is good enough. So this should really boost levels. Now, remember, when you use E85, you consume a lot more gas, but at the same time, you make a lot more power. It's like race fuel. It's like over 100 octane. It's beautiful. So it's giving us the ability to push more boost, and more boost means more power. We could write the map, or we could go in here and we could mess with things. So we could put on an exhaust burble. We could put on all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited. We go to map right, and now we just wait and let the car tune itself. Okay, tune is done. Now, one of the major things that I forgot to do in the first video is to tint these marker lights. The orange is just ugly, it looks better black. So we gotta tint them. Luckily, I got the perfect tint guy, so let's call him up.
Habibi, I'm here to make all your problems go away. I don't know what that was. Right here we have the wrap for the car. If I know one thing in life, the orange is a no-no, big no-no. So today, I brought my supplies. Gotta still see the rollie. Very nice. I go to cut it now. All you got to do is take the sticker off and put it right down. Then very carefully, you take a razor blade and you cut it out. Very precision. You do not want customer coming back with complaints. I'm sure I'm not gonna fix it. It's about to be, about to bing, about to boom. Okay, baby, one side is done, and now we're going to do the other side. Don't forget, a link in the description, I also fix iPad. Boom. Just like that, we are done, $500. That easy. Okay, I'm sweating so much.
Let's go do a bunch of launches until shit starts breaking. Okay, let's test out that E85 and give it a good launch. So we're in Sport Plus everything. I'm pretty sure we're all good to go. Give it a little brake boost. And there we go. And it's moving. We are going uphill right now, but it is moving pretty fast. And whoa, instantly, you're, before you know it, going way too fast. And that's what you want in a car. You want a car that, you know, you put the foot down and before you know it, you're already taking your foot off because you're scaring yourself. At the end of the day, this is still a luxury car. You know, it's almost 10 years old, but you know, I got the Apple CarPlay, I got the heated steering wheel, I got all the foo-foo bullshit, you know, this and that option, but it's still sporty. Now, we've done a lot of Beamers on the channel, and this is, you know, no exception. I've always been an American muscle guy. I've had plenty of Mustang GTs, plenty of Corvettes. I love, you know, I got my Chevelle. I love the power of an American V8, high horsepower, high displacement. You stomp on the pedal, you just start spinning the tires. You just want to do burnouts everywhere you go. It's great, and I love that. This is a whole different type of an appreciation. As a car enthusiast, I'm someone who likes all cars. I don't, you know, judge a car or group or whatever. I like all cars. They all have something that I like. This car, and like a lot of German cars, a lot of BMWs, I don't have that, you know, spin the tires and do tons of donuts. There's so much technology that kind of prevents you from doing that. And while you miss out on some of the burnouts and donuts, which we've still done with plenty of Beamers, what it does have is so much technology at your fingertips. You want to go cruise the canyon like we're in right now and just drive easily, carving corners, and just feel the car locked on the road like it's on rails. The Beamer is probably one of the best ways to do that. Pretty much every Beamer you get, whether or not it's an M model or a sport model, they are all pretty sporty for the most part. And once again, these are tuner cars. Because it's an inline six with a turbo, downpipe tune. It's the most overrated thing, but it's overrated for a reason. Everyone hypes about the downpipe tune because yeah, it's easy, and yeah, it makes great power, and yeah, it's simple, and yeah, it's cheap. It's true, it works. Now, when I bought this car, I went for the 4 Series for a reason. We already did a cheap 335 F30 335 build on the channel. Lenny picked one up for 7,500 bucks. We beat the everlasting hell out of that car. It was super fun, pretty reliable, leaked oil from every crack and crevice, made all kinds of unusual noises, check engine lights, and it just kept running. When it wanted to die, we were saying it's not over until we say it's over, and just completely beat it. We put a fucking flaming chicken on the hood and painted some stuff gold and still had some fun with it. That was an absolute blast of a car, and I wanted to replicate that. He sold it. I feel like he sold it for a little too cheap. I wanted to get into one again, and I thought this time I want to go a little bit different. Instead of N55, let's go B58, and instead of 4 doors, let's go 2 doors. But essentially, it's the same car. Minute differences, still that same level of fun, and this is still a car that you could pick up for around $10,000 all day long. I've shown plenty of examples. It's an amazing deal, and I have a feeling because of that B58 legacy, I have a feeling the prices are going to start going up pretty soon. So get your clapped Beamer now before it's too late, because this is one hell of a driver. Okay, let's talk about the pros and cons of using the E30 mix. Because it's not full E85, I haven't really noticed a drop in gas mileage. It's actually exactly the same as it was before. In this car, I'm getting 24.2 miles per gallon, which is insane. That's the best gas mileage I've ever had in my entire life from every single car I've ever owned. This is by far the best. I've had cars that get as low as 3 miles per gallon. So, you know, that's not saying much. Pro, super cheap gasoline you could buy pretty much everywhere. As far as power gains go, it is 100% worth it. The biggest problem, I would say, is just the inconvenience of trying to, you know, make your E30 mix and having to mix 91 and E85 to make your E30 mix. But it's not that big of a deal. And luckily with the tunes, you can instantly tune it back to whatever you want. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's been fun to make. This whole build has been super fun. What an amazing daily driver slash little street ripper slash supercar slayer, whatever you want to call it. E85 makes a ton of a difference, especially in turbo applications. You really feel it, especially with that all-wheel drive that you just launch like a little rocket ship. And it's not a big, you know, 5 Series, 7 Series that weighs a lot. It's a 4 Series. It's relatively light. It likes to move. It loves to corner. It's a fun thing to take on ramps and just really haul ass. I think it's time to take it out on a road trip. Today we're gonna go pick up a tranny in Vegas, specifically a 6-speed manual transmission for my cheap V10 supercar. We're not gonna take this car to Vegas though, because it gets like 6 miles to the gallon and it would cost a lot in gas. We're not gonna be taking the Chevelle or Jag because they have no AC and it's about 115 degrees in Vegas right now. So that leaves us with one great option, the BMW 440, our 500 horsepower sleeper car. This car is a great all-around daily driver. So we're gonna be putting it to the test. Obviously we did full bolt-ons, all the mods to make it super fun and look good. So let's take it to Vegas. We already did the downpipe intake tune, turbo inlet, obviously the cosmetic mods. So this car is ready to rip. Now the transmission we're gonna be looking for is a very rare, hard to find transmission. People are price gouging them like crazy. I found a killer once in a lifetime deal in Vegas. Hopefully it's not broken, hopefully it works and everything, and hopefully no one else gets to it first. So are we gonna make it? Are we gonna get the transmission? We'll find out. We were deep in the drive and everything was going well, but then we had to stop and pee, and that's when I noticed a giant blue puddle underneath the car.
We might be screwed, guys. I think maybe we sprung a leak.
What?
Look at this leak coming from underneath the car.
It kind of smells like coolant. Oh, no. No. I think we're fine. God, dude, you're fine. It's just a Gatorade bottle.
Okay guys, we're about an hour out from Vegas. So far the drive's going pretty good. It's very hot outside, about 110 degrees. Look at this Porsche right next to us. So nice.
Big old dent in the side of it.
But let's go to Vegas. Let's go gamble some money and let's pick ourselves up a transmission. And by the way, nothing's better than being out on the road, slapping into sport mode, 440's all modded and everything, and just go like that. And you hear the turbo noises just
on Central Station, and we can have a drink downtown. Let it be the night that I am longing for. Let's fly down south to Austin or to Ecuador.
Here we are, the land of opportunity. Now, we've come all this way for a transmission. A manual transmission, a very rare manual transmission, one from an E92 M3. The reason why we need that transmission is because the S85, which is the V10, and the S65, which is the V8, they're both basically the same engine. Imagine the V10, they chopped off 2 cylinders, there you go, that's the V8, which means that they utilize pretty much the same bell housing. So the manual transmissions that came in the M5s and M6s are very similar to the ones that came in the M3s. But the problem is they made very, very, very little ones for the M5s and M6s. Now you're probably not gonna find the manual transmission from a M5 or M6 because they made so little of them. They made plenty of manual M3s, but the transmissions are becoming harder to come by and they're becoming worth a lot of money because everyone's price gouging them. So they're typically like $5,000, $6,000. Well, because we found one for so much cheaper, we found one they're asking $1,500. I don't know the mileage on it. I don't know if it works, but it was worth the trip to come to Vegas and buy it. Now, of course, I didn't have that much cash just laying around. So, of course, since we're here in Vegas, land of gambling, we're gonna take the $500 cash that I had and gamble it and turn that $500 into $1,500, or maybe a little bit less. We're gonna try to negotiate on the transmission a little bit. Maybe we could get it for between $1,000 to $1,200, but I need more cash. I don't wanna go to an ATM and pull out cash. I want to gamble it and turn it into more money. It's time to gamble, and hopefully we don't lose all the money. Now, of course, I risk the possibility of blowing through all my money, which in that case, if I do, we're probably just gonna go home. The last thing I'm gonna wanna do is spend more money on the transmission, and this will be a huge wasted trip. But in the off chance that we make some money, we may be able to pick ourselves up a manual transmission for the M6. And of course, coming here, we're trying to save money. It's a Monday right now, so hotel rates are a little bit cheaper. If you wanna see what's not cheap, this is crazy right here. Everyone knows hotel food is super expensive. You don't buy it. You go to the 7-Eleven down the street. You don't buy this stuff. Okay, well, not only that, you can't even touch it because they put a motion detector inside this thing. So if I touch any of this, they instantly charge me for it, which is crazy. It's insane, you know, the land of opportunity. Not opportunity for you, opportunity for, you know, the mafia and everyone who runs this place to, you know, empty our wallets. So just crazy here. But I'm excited to gamble. Hopefully we don't lose.
Okay guys, it's time to go make some money.
Dollar by dollar, losing money, then making a few bucks, then losing money, then making it back. Eventually tried some blackjack and we were able to muster up just enough to walk away before we blew it all.
Oh, we're up a few $100. I'm up about $250. Lenny's up what?
Like I think 175-ish.
So that puts us around $500 or so. Almost. We're gonna round up. So that puts us just around where we want. So hopefully we can negotiate. I think cash in hand, the person will take it. So let's hope it works out.
Okay, we are now in the residential part of Las Vegas. We're trying to find the guy's house where we can pick up that transmission. Now, the most important thing is that we negotiate, because I never buy things at asking price. I've been talking to this guy for a little while now, so hopefully no one pops up and buys it out from underneath us. That would really suck. But yeah, they're waiting for us. Should be there in about 7 minutes and buy ourselves manual transmission. The negotiations went well and we were able to snag the transmission for $1,000.
Okay guys, we just got the trans. So now we just gotta fit this thing into the 440. Let's go put it in. Of course he's got a broken M4 over here. Fingers crossed, hopefully, as long as it runs, like, we're in the clear and this is the best deal ever. We won't really know until we get in the car, but I mean, pops in and out of gear. I think it's probably fine. Huge accomplishment, guys. Let's go back to the strip and let's celebrate a little.
Here we go. We got the transmission right here and we're back home, baby. So obviously in order to swap that into the M6, it's gonna be a big job. It's kind of a tough job. There's a lot of wiring involved and a lot of parts we're gonna have to source. So we're not gonna be able to jump on it ASAP, but now that we got the transmission, that was the hardest part. I can now start collecting all the remaining components so that we can manual swap the V10, which I'm so excited for. I mean, it's gonna be awesome. So now that we got that, huge accomplishment. As far as the 440 goes, you know, I've now had this car for about 6-7 months and it's a solid daily driver. My own personal review of it is that it gets decent gas mileage at around 24 miles per gallon. It's super easy to mod. You got the downpipe intake tune, slap some wheels on it, some carbon fiber, easy to get parts for, reliable. It's got the B58 engine, makes good power, and the sky's the limit on power. I mean, we could go so much further with this build. I mean, we barely scratched the surface with it. And then as far as practicality, I mean, it's a parts trailer. As you can see, we're hauling around transmissions in it. So as far as, you know, going around, obviously you got the 340i, you got 2 more doors. So if you're, you know, carrying around more people, that's great. But the coupe's great as well. You still have seats in the back. You know, a normal sized person could fit back there. It's not too cramped. But as far as trunk space, you could carry around a lot of stuff. I think practicality, I give it a 10 out of 10. So as far as a daily driver / project car, once again, you could pick these cars up for anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000. Obviously, salvage rebuilt titles are going to be a little bit lower. Maybe if it's broken, but they're pretty easy to fix, so you could get a killer deal there. But around that $10,000 to $15,000 range, you could get a solid car that you could make a daily driver. So I'm going to give this car a solid 8 out of 10 all around. I'm pretty happy with everything. Obviously, it's not a Ferrari. It's not, you know, a Corvette, but it's a solid BMW daily driver. Well, I want to thank you for watching this video. It's been really fun. Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. Make sure you smash the like button. Consider joining our Patreon, link in the description down below, if you want to help us choose the next project car we buy for this channel. So check out the Patreon, link in the description down below, and we'll catch you in the next video.